Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the Hey, what's up, y'all? This your boy KCFL, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. This is a day later. I know I was supposed to do the review last night, early in the morning, but your boy was tired. Listen, AEW pay-per-views, they might be decent, they might be good. It's only kind we're going to have to cut the weight. We're going to have to cut the bad baggage, man. Some of this stuff does not deserve to be on this show. Let's call it for what it is. Now, first and foremost, I want to ask some of y'all what y'all feel about the new intro. You know, I really wanted to become creative with the intro because I'm just always used to going to find music, free copyright, uncopyright. I think it's non-copyright music. That's what I always try to go look for. But I said, you know what, man, I'm a beatbox guy, so I like to beatbox. So you know, why not go ahead and do my own little beatbox? You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a thorough, unbiased pay-per-view. Now, I know I was tweeting out, I gave the score of an 8 out of 10, but I might have to drop it down a notch. I'm going to break down everything on the show. I'm going to talk about everything that happened. We are in a brand new season. This is the 3rd anniversary of AEW. They hit a 3rd year this past Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to break down everything that happened. There's a lot of things I enjoyed on the show. Some of the stuff did not belong on the show. We're going to go in. And like I said, we got to keep it fair. We have to keep it unbiased. We have to keep it real. Because like I said, over here at KCFL Wrestling Talks, I do my best to be unbiased as I can because I mainly cover AEW. And I enjoy AEW for what it is. But sometimes some of the things they do on the show, I just be like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's alright, it's cool, but you kind of need to pass. So, on the buy-in, we got the Acclaim coming out, getting the crowd hyped with the A-Boys. They came out, Anthony Bowens, Colton, Austin, and my main man, Max. Now, you know, Anthony is hurt, came out in the doggone wheelchair, and they all try to do the, Anthony's line. And Anthony's like, fellas, no. And I say, no, get that, like I said, Max does his rap. You know, his rap's a cheesy as heck, but I like it. Then they tried to do it. I'm like, nah, Give that mic to the one man, and the one man only that knows how to do it right. And he's like, Las Vegas, the Acclaim, and the A-Boys have arrived. Listen, I'm not really into the 4 of them working together. They may be funny together, but I just prefer the Acclaim by themselves. That's just me. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I'm going to talk about a segment that they showed a little bit later on during the show. So we get the first matchup on the pre-show. Danhausen, Hook, taking on Smart Mark Sterling and the premier athlete Tony Nese. This matchup, let me tell you something. I want to see what's the hype behind the clown Dan Hansen. The world loves him. He got a huge pop in Vegas. They love Hook. This matchup was a cartoon fest. It was a comedy act. Wasn't funny that it was like they tried some things. I just can't get behind this Dan Hansen clown. I don't know what the hype is. People love him. I don't know. I can't get behind him, man. Obviously, he's the merch guy. People love him. Like I said, they was going crazy. I wanted to see what does he bring to the table. And as of right now, all he does is do this all day. And obviously, that's his finisher, where he just go and put his foot on you. And that's how they won the match. Now, I was thinking that Dan was going to turn on Hook, and they was going to get a storyline go started from there. We didn't get that. Now, I got the right team going over, but we didn't get what I was thinking was going to go off. So, hey, kudos to them. They got the victory. Now, JR comes out. He gets the proper introduction. You know, he got the Oklahoma theme song. Oklahoma bred, born and bred. And we move on to the show. Now, let's talk about it. Because I had a feeling they was going to open the show with all the drama surrounding Double or Nothing. On Saturday, they had an AEW meet and greet. MJF was supposed to be on the panel. MJF didn't show. And so when people's money gets involved, there was a lot of speculation because there's been so much quote-unquote beef going on backstage between him and Tony Khan about a potential raise and all this stuff. And everybody knows he's a free agent not until 2024, January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So there's been this whole internal beef going on, and people speculate, like, does he want to be there? Does he not want to be there? So when fans' money get involved, cats really start thinking like, okay, this can't be a work. Like, this has to be legit. Like, this fool is like, what the heck is wrong with him? So later that night, salute to Sean Ross Sapp. Sean Ross Sapp put out a statement saying that a plane has been booked out of Las Vegas to head to Newark, New Jersey. And the name on the ticket is Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And I'm saying to myself, what the clown is going on? So they said everybody tried to reach out to him. They didn't get no phone, nothing. They tried to call him. They tried to text him. They got absolutely nothing. So now the whole internet is going crazy. Everybody's saying this is unprofessional. This is messed up. MJF is wrong. People was cussing him out, calling him all kind of crazy names. People was like, I'm done with this guy. I'm finished with him. If you want to go with Cody Rhodes to the WWE, by all means, he can go. Everybody was crying. I'm like, first of all, why the clown would he do this right before a pay-per-view? And then I seen so many people and they trying their best to compare this situation to the demonic situation that's happening over with WWE with my lady Sasha Banks and Naomi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell y'all this has absolutely nothing to do with neither one of them. Naomi and Sasha's situation has absolutely nothing to do with MJF. You can't compare it. I've seen fools on Twitter trying their best to say that this guy was trying to upstage them. Ladies and gentlemen, the tribalism in the IWC is out of this world crazy. And the whole situation about MJF, you know what MJF is, and you know what Naomi and Sasha are. I don't need to go into details on that, but I'm just here to tell you that neither one of their situations are the same. MJF has been given the world by Tony Khan. I ain't know who MJF was. I thought MJF was just, yes, he's still a prippy boy. He's still a prick. That's who he is. But MJF has turned into one of the biggest names in AEW. Tony Khan has went out his way to make this dude one of the best. I'm telling you, dude can talk his tail off. I didn't think he was that good of a wrestler when I first seen him. And when I first saw him wrestle, I was like, he kind of just doing a lot of talking for me. He just talk. He ain't really walking the walk. Then he got into the match with Jungle Boy, and I was like, okay, he showed me a little something. Then he got into the match with Moxley. I said, okay, he showed me a little something. The match that did it for me was when he wrestled Darby Allin. That was the match that made me say, okay, this fool just ain't a talker. He can talk and he can wrestle his tail off. Now, with all the stuff going on with ex-WWE clowns coming through, with CM Punk now being crowned as the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, maybe this might be what's really ticking him off. Because it ain't money. Tony Khan would give him the world. First of all, he's already given him the world. So it was a lot of speculation about him possibly not showing up for the match because they said he wasn't backstage. Then they had a video package for the match on Twitter and YouTube. They private the video. Then JR put up that the match is back on, and it was just all kind of drama going on. Just drama. And I'm sitting up and saying to myself, well, everybody and mama talking about AEW Double or Nothing. That's kind of the goal. Now, I know a lot of people say, why would you go that route where fans' money is involved? I guarantee you. Matter of fact, there's a post. I would love to go get it, but I would have to get it off my phone. I don't have it on Twitter right now. I've seen it. There's a post that basically said that all of this situation was thought up by Tony Khan. Now, I guarantee you, with fans' money being involved, they probably told them, listen, we're going to do this angle. MJF's not showing up. Don't worry. You're going to be refunded your money. I know you all want to see him. Don't say nothing. Do not put on Twitter that this is a work, because people are going to be tripping and say, why would Tony Khan go out his way to do something foolish like this? Yes, it was foolish, but the fact that it got everybody and mama talking about Double or Nothing. Everybody and their mama's mama was talking about Double or Nothing. That's how you get eyeballs on your product. It might be a goofy, clown, foolish way, because the fact that you got somebody who's supposed to be on this doggone fan fest, a meet and greet, I get it. He's a prick. He's a heel. He really tries his best to live this gimmick. He claims it's not a gimmick, but it's a gimmick. Cats want to see you, regardless of how you treat them. You might treat them like they not even worth your time and energy. Cats want to see your tail, so you know your behind's supposed to be there. But obviously, him and Tony Khan came up with this concept, like, hey, just go to the casino, don't show up. I'll tell the fans, don't worry, we'll pay you and we're going to double pay you. And so everybody got refunded their money. Tony Khan and them was behind the whole thing. So it was a work from the whole jump. That's why I wasn't really tripping about it. You seen fools online complaining, oh, FMJF, if he want to be Bruce Pritchard's female dog, he can do that. I'm done with his, full of, selfish clowns, whatever. I heard it all. Everybody was crying. Everybody was complaining. Everybody going off. I say, man, listen, MJF gonna do MJF, ladies and gentlemen. When y'all fools gonna learn that? That's why I don't trip about this clown. I don't trip. I don't get caught up in all the buffoonish stuff that goes on. See, that's the problem. See, today's wrestling is governed by drama and social media. The drama that takes place on social media in the IWC is kind of what pushes wrestling to the mainstream. And it's kind of silly to go that route, but I'm just telling you the bold-faced truth. Because it seems like when there's like not enough news, somebody has to drop something from these dirt sheets, whether it's Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, my man from Madman Wrestling, the Wrestling Inc., Sean Ross Sapp, all of these clowns. It don't matter what. You got so many, Wade Keller and them. Everybody got no DQ. Everybody got some kind of newsworthy stuff that they putting out. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. It basically is what gets cats talking. And this seems to be the only thing that moves wrestling nowadays. It's not what's being presented on TV. Because what's being presented on TV ain't really all that like how it used to be. But they trying to get back to that. That's why I wish every company that's on television, I don't care if it's Impact, WWE, AEW, you name it, wrestling as a whole, your game is to get new people to watch your product. It's not to turn people away. It's not to get people to say, you know what, man, I used to watch wrestling back in the day. I really don't care about this stuff. To me, it's just cheesy. It's a wannabe, like how it used to be back in the day. I'm good. I really don't care. And that's the unfortunate part about what goes on in WWE land. There's some things that's good in WWE, but a lot of this stuff is repetitive. A lot of the stuff that they presenting over there is hot garbage. It's trash. It's not even worth watching. And then when you come over to AEW, when they at least give you decent matches, the problem is they got to be better when it comes to creating the storylines. Tony Khan, I'm talking directly to you, young man. This AEW product that we have now is nowhere the same where we was 2021, 2020, and 2019. This is a completely new regime. And Tony Khan knows that he has a lot on his table. This is why I'm not against him getting a team to help him come up with things, so that he just doesn't have to sit up and try to come up with everything, because I know his hands are booked. I get it. But it's like I said, majority of the stuff that he's presenting, I think is presentable. But there's a lot of stuff that he tries to put out there, and you watch it and you just sit up and say to yourself, like, did you go get that from Vince McMahon? Like, did you legit ask Vince McMahon to write this up for you when you know that some of the stuff that's going on over here don't make a lick of sense? It don't. But moving forward, Tony Khan knows he can't play around, especially with CM Punk as your new AEW champion. This is the era of Punk, and we need to get to the level that we've been trying to get to for a long time. Because fools keep talking. I keep hearing fools keep complaining about the ratings, saying that AEW is going off the air. I'm like, as long as TBS and TNT are cool with what they presenting, we shouldn't even give a rat's behind about the ratings. I get it. You want to see them do 1.1, 1.2. I get it. I do as well. But I don't really get caught up on that, because it's all that matters is what the clowns that run those networks think about. That's the problem. We get caught up on the numbers that we see. Oh, the numbers are in the poop, this and that, and all this crazy stuff. Same goes with WWE. If USA and Fox are cool with those trash numbers that they are doing, I'm just calling for what it is. Because nobody really want to talk about the rating situation. We get so caught up on the ratings that, oh, the ratings are dwindling. Then that means that TBS and TNT are going to say, well, AEW is going to be off the air. I told you, there's a lot of fools that want Tony Khan and AEW to die. I don't understand the hatred that they have for. Listen, Tony Khan don't do everything right. Yeah, he snorts cocaine a lot, trust me. Especially watching that media scrum last night, early this morning. Tony Khan was on, the cocaine was showing. That's just called for what it is. Whatever he's doing, the cocaine was showing. But elevation is the name of the game. That is what it's about. And remember what I said. If Tony Khan wants to make a star, he can make a star. And boy, did he make a star with this first match. And I'm glad that this was the kickoff match. So we kicked off the show with Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Wardlow. MJF came out and fans was already speculating, is he going to be there? He comes out and the Vegas crowd booed the mess out of him. They said, you effed up, you effed up. I mean, they was cussing him, they was doing all this stuff. And MJF, what he did had me on the floor. He got up in the ring and he started doing the little airplane thing. I said, look here, that is excellent. I love it. Because of this, the little tweet that was put out about him, quote unquote, getting a plane ticket. Listen, MJF is an excellent worker when it comes to working the crowd. I got to give him props on that. When he knows how to tick people off, he'll tick people off. You can't be mad at that. You cannot be mad at that. So Wardlow comes out. Wardlow gets the Goldberg treatment. They knock on the door. He still has the handcuffs and everything. And you already know. Everybody, mama know. All we know, this is finna be a beatdown. And boy, was it a beatdown. MJF was doing everything in his power to try to escape Wardlow. Wardlow got his hands on that man. Power bomb after power bomb after power bomb. He tore this dude up. And after doing so many power bombs, laid the man out. The man gets stretched out. This is the way to write MJF off TV. Whatever situation he got going on with Tony Khan, we'll let them squabble that stuff. So, rides off. Wardlow standing there. Tony Khan comes out. No, not Tony Khan. Tony Schiavone comes out. Lets him know, Wardlow, congratulations, sir. You are now All Elite. He has his All Elite contract. I mean, he been had it, but you know, the stipulation going on with him being a slave to MJF, those days are done. Wardlow is a mega star. This actually made Wardlow look even better. With all the drama going on with MJF, this made Wardlow look 20 times better. When I say Tony Khan, if he want to make somebody into a star, look no further than this young man Wardlow. Now, if I'm Wardlow, if I'm building up Wardlow, Wardlow is going to be my next TNT champion. That's who I'm taking. That's either have him take the title or you hit. Listen, the TNT title picture could be presented so much better if Tony Khan actually gives a crap. But Wardlow is right now AEW's biggest babyface moving forward right now. There's no question. I loved everything about this match. This match was great. It wasn't even a match, to be honest with you. It was just a beatdown, but I loved it because the storytelling, it was all about the storytelling. This matchup was all about storytelling, and I love it. Now, let's go to the second matchup. This is about generations. Which generation is better? The old school versus the new school. The Hardys are in the building. The Young Bucks are in the building. Young Bucks come out dressed up looking like Elvis. The Hardy Boys come out. This is who's better, the Young Bucks or the Hardys. The matchup itself, listen, I like the Hardys, I do. But my goodness, man, our childhood is getting up there, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't the same cats that you seen back in the day. Back at WrestleMania 17 and all those TLC matches they was doing in the late 90s, early 2000s and all this crazy stuff. And during this matchup, they had my man from Ring of Honor come out and commentate. See, with them constantly bringing dude out, once they get this Ring of Honor television show, the other cat and him going to be the main two cats calling the show. Whenever they get this TV deal, whenever, the time comes. So having him on commentary to do color commentary, that was fine because they had a matchup in Ring of Honor. So obviously that's what they said, okay, we're going to have my mans come out. I forgot his name. I think his name started with a C. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But for me, this matchup was slow. I knew it was going to be a spot fest. I already knew that. But just this, watching my old guys, watching my Hardys, doing everything in their power. Jeff even got hurt, but still kept going. They tried. The Hardys tried. The Bucks, they did their part. The Bucks was doing what they were supposed to do. But I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't really feeling this match. It was decent, but the right team went over. I knew the Hardys was going to go over. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that, but it's just, man, and I'm sitting up and saying to myself, we get ready. We're going to get one final AEW tag team run with them. I say, man, whatever they need to do to get their bodies right, because we're going to have to do well with them with the AEW Championship tag team titles when the time comes. I'm like, man, we're going to be in for it. When the time comes, it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, whether we like it or not. It's going to happen. The Hardy Boys are getting those AEW tag team titles, whether you like it or not. I know people will say, well, no, like, hey, WWE team. Listen, this is what they came here. This is their sunset ride. This is their final ride. They're going to get one last ride with those tag team titles. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, people are going to be upset, but it's going to happen. So that's that. Now the next decent match. Let's go ahead and break it down. AEW TBS Championship match. Anna Jay versus my girl, Jade Cargill. Both of my girls look excellent. Now, when I mean excellent, I'm talking about what they had on. Anna Jay looked beautiful when she came out. And then Jade with the Vegas girls, and they gave Jade the elevator door thing like Cody had. Be 1,000% with y'all, man. 1,000%. I like their first match on Rampage better than this one. Everything that happened after this matchup is what made this match. And Jade is getting better and better. There was a few botches in this match on both ends. Anna Jay tried to do something. She missed Jade like a mug. It was something she tried to do. And then Jade tried to do this finisher. I don't know the name of it. She tried it. It looked kind of sloppy. I'll be honest with you. It did. But the name of the game with Jade is her confidence level is rising. And the fact that everybody knows who she's working with. I seen the video. Both her and Red were training with the man himself, Bryan Danielson. That's all you need to know. The young lady wants this. She is glad. Listen, man, I love Jade Cargill. I love her. This is my girl right here, man. Jade get this wrestling style. I keep saying this every video. Every video I talk about Jade Cargill. What is the one thing that I always talk about? I say it's her wrestling ability. She's in training, folks. But the fact is, look at her mindset when she goes out there. You can see she wants this. It's not the fact that she don't want it. I can see if she didn't care about improving. Jade Cargill is doing everything in her power to get to where we want her to be. And we already know this is year 2. This is the beginning of year 2. She's fresh into this thing. So I'm not even finna trip about all that. But like I said, I'm going to be 1,000% with y'all. I think her and Anna Jay's first match that was on Rampage was better. Which means because they didn't have the proper build, you could have probably saved this for a Rampage or a Dynamite. I just know they just had to make sure that Jay was on the pay-per-view show. But the name of the game, you build up a feud. Now, let me talk about everything that transpired. So Jay wins. I knew the baddies was going to get involved. The baddies got involved. Johnny Hungy got involved. So all the chaos going on, just chaos after chaos after chaos, right? Smart Mark Sterling gets involved. He gets laid out by Johnny Hungy. Then, out the woodwork comes formerly known as Malcolm Bivens, Stokely Hathaway. The crowd went nuts. I say my man been stuck in NXT purgatory forever. That was on Triple H's watch, and the fact that Triple H didn't know what to do with Malcolm Bivens, then you already knew Vince McMahon wasn't gonna know what to do with the man. He said, "I had enough. I got to get the clown out of here." Everybody was saying, "Well, we need Stokely Carmichael to be the manager of the baddies." Ladies and gentlemen, he is now the new manager of the baddies. Jade Cargill wins the match. After the match, here comes Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander comes out, and she didn't really look at Jade. She gets in the Red's face, and everybody going crazy. And then the music hits, and I'm like, who music is that? Ladies and gentlemen, formerly known as Ember Moon, the fallen goddess Athena is in the building. That crowd went crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, the TBS title picture has now become the best women's picture in AEW right now. It's more important than the main title picture for the women's. I'm serious. The TBS title picture just got crazy. Let that sink in. The TBS championship feels more important than the AEW women's championship. Just let that sink in. I'm more excited about what's going to happen with the TBS title picture than I am with the AEW women's title picture. And the fact that the matchup wasn't even really all that, I'm more excited what's going to transpire. So if I'm Jade Cargill, I already know I got to step this thing up, because there's more ladies that's finna try to come after me. Chris, Athena, who knows? I know I got my baddies right here, but they might try to gun for me. Like I said, matchup was decent, but I prefer the first one. I prefer Anna Jade Cargill Part 1. So we move on to House of Black versus Death Triangle. Y'all know I don't. When we got multiple trios matches, I can say, listen, when you got so many multi-man matches on the show, I kind of get drawn out. It just be like, man, I get it. Tony Khan want to have everybody and mama on the show. This matchup, though, House of Black, Death Triangle, this was an excellent match. This was great. I enjoyed everything about this matchup. You had everybody and the mama out there. Penta brought his baby out there. Lil Penta was out there. I'm sitting up and saying, oh, man, maybe Death Triangle might win. I picked House of Black to win. Listen, they was going at it. They was going to war. All 6 of these cats was tearing each other up. They was doing work. I got to give all 6 of them props. Everybody who's involved, even Alex Abrahantes, I got to give him props as well. Everybody did their role perfectly. So They made you think the Death Triangle was going to get the victory. Then the lights go off. And I said, well, I said it in the predictions video who was going to show up. Julia Hart is now officially a part of House of Black. She came out. She looked like she was demon possessed or whatever. She comes out. She spits the black mist in Pac's face. And Malachi Black gets the 1, 2, 3. Excellent match. I have no problem with this matchup at all. Like I say, Tony Khan, it's time to get these trios titles in the building. It's time. We've been having these trios matches over and over and over and over and over again. Let's get these trios championships in the building. It's time. It's time, sir. It's time. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Now, we get to the 2 Owen Hart tournament final matches. And I'm going to be 1,000% with y'all. I think both of them were kind of just okay. The fellas did a little bit better than the women, but I think they were just okay. For this to be the finals, you would think everybody would go hard. Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, they did work. I had a feeling that somebody was going to get involved. I just knew it. I said it's either going to be Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, Kyle O'Reilly, the Young Bucks, or Bobby Fish. Somebody was going to come out there to help Adam Cole. Somebody. Adam Cole wasn't finna go over clean. You knew he wasn't. So Bobby Fish comes out, calls the distraction. He looking at that man, not paying attention. Adam Cole does his finisher, gets it done. He is now Mr. Owen Hart Foundation Tournament King. He gets it for the fellas. Now we move on to the women. Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, both of them got a performance entrance. My man from Fonzie did Britt, and then Ruby had Ranson perform her. So I'm thinking, okay, was this a way just to get the crowd not to boo Ruby? Because the crowd was split. The crowd was split. Just like how they were split for Samoa Joe, Adam Cole. They were split. They was DMD, Ruby Soho. They was back and forth, back and forth. Listen, y'all already know what you're going to get from Britt Baker. You already know. Like, Britt's going to go hard when she wants to go hard. Ruby, on the other hand, though, man, I'm starting to see why a lot of people just is down on Ruby. Ruby did way more selling than she should have. Ruby was out there just trying to oversell, if you ask me. Like, she was focusing more on the selling than she was the actual wrestling. Like, she did a couple of things that was decent, but I'm saying to myself, like, girl, you trying to win this thing. You trying to win it. I had her actually going over, but they said, nope, we're going to make sure that the couple goes over. And sure enough, Miss Britt Baker wins. A lot of people was upset. People was crying. And I said, well, you know, technically the couple, it's the couple, so why not? I said I wouldn't be shocked if both of them won, and they both won. So, you know, here comes Tony Schiavone, and then here comes Martha Hart. Martha thanks the crowd. She thanks everybody. She thanks the kids. She thanks Owen. She thanks Britt. She thanks Tony. She thanks Adam Cole. She hugs them both. They kiss each other, you know, big whoop-de-whoop. They get those titles. Those titles look like tag team titles, if you ask me. The king and queen of the Owen Hart Foundation men and women's tournament. Adam and Britt. There you go. Like I said, both of their matches, like I said, could have been better. I like the men's more than the women's, but to me, they kind of was, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you. I'm being 1,000% with y'all, man. You know, this ain't no hate. I ain't hating. I'm just being 1,000%, you know, so. Then this matchup right here. Now we got two matches that had absolutely no business being on this show. None whatsoever. Mixed trios match. America's Top Team versus Sammy Guevara, Taya Conti, and Frankie Kazarian. Now, the stipulation was if Sammy, Tay, and Frankie lost, neither one of them can challenge for the TNT title as long as Sky has the championship. This matchup was all about Paige. Everybody wanted to see what has she learned. And she needs to go back to the drawing board. Best part of this whole match was Sammy accidentally kicking Ted because the crowd popped. That was the whole thing. Everybody went crazy when Sammy Sweet Chin Music take. I just feel bad for Sky. I feel bad that the man gets the TNT title and it just feels like the championship doesn't really mean anything. It feels like the whole TNT title picture is a complete waste of time. And just the flipping back and forth. Who's the heel? Who's the baby face? Don't nobody really know. The crowd was what made you think America's Top Team was the baby faces. It just didn't work. And then before the match ended, Frankie Kazarian walked off and said, "I'm done with these clowns." And that's when Sky got the victory over Sammy, and there's it. American Top Team wins. Like I said, Paige, she needs to get some training. Now, is she worse than Marina Shafir? I think Marina's worse, but that's just a bad comparison because I'm comparing with somebody who ain't really that good. So, it is what it is, man. Like I said, just go back to the drawing board. All right, we need to revamp this whole TNT title picture, and I'm gonna talk about the promo that took place towards later on because they met up. Now let me talk about what happened backstage. Well, actually, it was like a little video package. You had the A-Boys and the Acclaim. They was out Vegas having a great time, and then Billy Gunn goes and knock on the door and said, "Let me show you what these clowns are doing." He walk in the door. Those clowns are toe up. It's almost like a scene straight out of what's the Hangover. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of the Hangover. They was toe up from the floor up. They was sitting over there, and then Anthony Bourne sitting there with his hands out doing one of these numbers, just looking stupid and say, I kind of laughed at it, but it is what it is, man. So now we get to another matchup that really could have been saved for Dynamite or Rampage. Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. And I'm going to be 1,000% with y'all, man. Chemistry matters. And these two really don't have that good chemistry. Now, people might think I'm hating. I think you could have actually put this. If you would have put this on Dynamite or Rampage, maybe the match would have been a little bit better. Because normally Darby Allin matches be off the chain. I don't care who Darby get in the ring with. And Kyle O'Reilly is not a bad wrestler himself. Kyle O'Reilly is an excellent wrestler too. So you would think you put two great wrestlers together and they're going to go out there and bang. And I'm like, nah, it just, you could have saved this. This matchup did not deserve to be on the show. This match did not deserve to be on the show. I'm serious. It didn't. You could have saved this for Rampage or Dynamite. Both of these back-to-back matches where it could have been saved for Dynamite or Rampage. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. Good wrestlers, both of them. Match was decent, but still, you could have saved the match for Rampage. This is what I tell Tony Khan. Please, dude. Please. If you're going to have a long show, 11 matches are fine. 2 on the pre-show, 9 on the main card. That's it. And we get the clown up out of there. Show be done by 10 o'clock. If you're going to do a 4-hour show, if we start at 6 o'clock, that means the show started at 7. We are done at 10. You can go overboard. 10, 15. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. So from 6 to 10:20, a 4-hour, 20-minute show, that's fine. Not no dang that 6-hour show. I can't put up with it. I can't. I know people gonna say, well, why you watch? I watch because I cover the show. I cover AEW. So of course I'm going to watch, but it's just too much. If you want a pay-per-view to be excellent, in my opinion, cut the weight that doesn't belong on the show. Cut it. You cut the weight. And now the match order itself, actually, I didn't have a problem with the match order. I just think certain matches just shouldn't have been on the show. The match order actually was pretty good based on how the matches went. But if you cut the weight of certain matches that don't belong on the show, man, this could have been a great pay-per-view. I would have probably gave this pay-per-view probably a 9, possibly a 10. But I said, but you know me, the highest I go is 9. If a show is out, like, I don't usually give 10s. I critique you to the highest order. If you are going to put out good wrestling, I'm going to critique you as if you putting out good wrestling. Don't be putting out mediocre stuff and putting stuff on TV that shouldn't even be on TV or on pay-per-view or whatever. No, Like I said, I'm as unbiased. I'm an AEW head through and through, but I do my best to be unbiased as I possibly can, because there's too many people that's shilling for either WWE or AEW, Impact or New Japan. It doesn't matter. Cats are gonna shield for whatever company they love. It's called for what it is. But when you love something that you respect and that you want to do better, you're gonna call them out on their bullcrap. You are. You're not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat something that you know they shouldn't do, but you go and you say, it's all good. No, it's not all good. It's not all good. Like I said, this matchup, both of these matches could have been saved for Dynamite and Rampage. Best women's match on the whole show. This was about psychology. This was all about mat wrestling. Thunder went over. Not shocked. I wanted Serena to win personally. I thought that they was going to do my man Dustin coming out. They didn't even go to route. Kudos to Thunder Rosa for rocking the tribute shirt or whatever she had on. That was a tribute to the 21 people that lost their lives out there in Texas. Like I said, kudos to Thunder Rosa. Serena and Thunder have excellent chemistry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very keen on chemistry when it comes to wrestling. I critique a wrestling match based on how well the chemistry is. If you match like this, man, I'm gonna always give you praise in the rest of the match. If you are just going out there just to be going out there, I'm gonna say your match is not really that good. I've been watching wrestling way too long, and I've been paying attention how a wrestling match should be. Storyline, whatever the story you're trying to tell. How great is your mat wrestling? How great is your grappling? How great is your move sets that you're doing? You can almost say that this matchup could have been match of the night. If you want to say that this is the match of the night, I will not debate you. I will not debate you. These ladies went at it. Man, did they tear each other up. They tore each other up mentally. They tore each other up physically. I mean, I'm watching this and I say, man, Thunder Rosa and Serena's out here doing work. Some people, they might think that this was a quote-unquote boring match, but I told you, I'm more on the grappling, mat wrestling. What are you trying to tell me while you in that ring? And the two of them were basically, Thunder was dominating at first. Because I was like, well, where the heck is Serena? Then Serena came out the woodwork and was putting in that work. I said, okay. I said, we got ourselves a match right here. These girls are going at it. Like I said, I was pulling for Serena, but they said, nope. We're going to let Thunder, we're going to let Thunder keep this thing going. So, kudos to Thunder for getting the dub. Serena loses. What do we do with Serena moving forward? Who's next for Thunder? We'll find out on Dynamite. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if people want to say that this was the match of the night, hey, you can say that. I didn't care nothing about this matchup, but during the show or during the pre-show, they showed us a promo from Eddie Kingston. A lot of people are not fond of his wrestling, but boy, is he one of the best talkers in AEW. And he could tell a story just based off a promo. And he talked about how Jericho sent him back to the demons of drinking that he wanted to be done away with. He dang near teared up and said, listen, I don't know what the clown I'm about to do with Jericho. This man is taking me back to demons of alcohol and drug abuse, and I didn't even want to go there, but you got me to a place where I'm about to do something. I'm going to hurt you tonight. I'm going to murder you tonight. I'm going to do something that I will regret. Tony Khan, this is on your hands. Now, me watching that promo, I'm sitting up and saying to myself, because at first I was going with the JAS, but then I just switched. I said, no, I'm going to take Eddie in now. The match itself was insane. And before the match even started, ring announcer Justin Roberts said, "Poops is about to hit the fan." He wasn't lying. After the JAS clowns came out there, they all came dressed up looking like, I don't know what the clown they had on. They just looked silly as heck. And then, here come Moxley and everybody. They coming down. And the match itself kept going as the music, as Wild Thing kept playing. And some people was telling me, oh, this is a tribute to New Jack. I didn't watch ECW back in the day, but New Jack, whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about. My black dude that just didn't give a crap. He would do stuff like this, where he would just beat the snot out of you and his music would still be playing. That's basically what happened until Jericho came across the cord that was plugged into the boom system. He pulled it. He said, enough of this stuff. I'm tired of this. But these clowns was tearing each other up. They was, listen, Jericho, and I got to give props to Jericho and the creative mind that he has coming up with this, because I'm sitting up here like, okay, is this like a stadium stampede match? Yeah, you can compare it to that, but this was what I always say. I say AEW does their best, or any promotion, they try to have what I call a beat the bricks off your opponent match. That's basically what these no DQ matches basically are. They basically beat the snot out of your opponent, beat the bricks off, and that's exactly what all 10 of these clowns did. They beat the bricks off of. Listen, you had clowns going into the audience, going into the concession stand, cats bleeding all over the place. Listen, there was a part towards the end of the match. Eddie Kingston came walking down, and he looked like a demon-possessed man, and the man had a can of gas. People is petitioning to get him in the new Grand Theft Auto game. I said, y'all are something else. Listen, the JAS crew, Blackpool, Eddie Kingston squad. Listen, I don't like the JAS clowns. I don't like them at all. And Jericho, please change the music. Change the music. Please, man. That song, Judas, is only for the inner circle. The JAS squad need a brand new theme song. Y'all need it. Desperately, y'all need it. But the JAS squad, Eddie Kingston, Blackpool, they did their thing. Now, let's get to the story that took place that cost Eddie Kingston and them. Eddie got the gas canister. Bryan Danielson, Jericho in the ring beating the snot at each other. He comes in there and he starts pouring gas on the both of them, as if he's ready to light that man up, and he didn't give no care. So then Moxley and him had to tell Eddie, what the heck are you doing? So now, instead of focusing on Jericho, Bryan and Eddie Kingston are beating the snot out of each other. And I said, well, that's what's about to cost them. Sure enough, that's exactly what cost them. They lose the match. The JAS clowns go over. Now this tells me we're going to have a blood and guts type of match. It's going to happen. We're going to get it, and they're going to win in blood and guts. But how in the world is Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson going to coexist? Because they got a legit beef. There is legit beef going on. We're going to find out on Wednesday night, because that is what cost him. Eddie Kingston's arrogance of him just wanting to murder somebody cost them the match. That's the storyline of this. Kudos to everybody that was a part of this. I got to give them... Listen, I really didn't care nothing about this match. I really didn't. I didn't. But Eddie Kingston, Jericho, they made you care about it, and they did their thing. So if people want to say that this was match of the night, kudos to you. You got every right to feel that way. I want to sit up and say, I'm going to be honest with you, it might just be match of the night. It's either one. And then we kept going. So let's see. So now we got a promo of another debut. So now Andrade, congratulations to him and Charlotte. They just got hitched. They showed a video package of him and Jose, and Andrade say, I'm tired of losing. And hanging out with the AFO clowns, they're a bunch of losers. I got somebody that's a winner. He is now a part of the AEW roster. He brings in Rush El Toro Blanco. I don't know who this clown is. I believe he's from the AAA scene. He's from the Mexican independent scene. A lot of people know who he is. He is now part of the AEW roster. I don't know what this means. I don't know. He dabs him up, shakes his hand. We're going to see. We're going to see what that means. So let's go to the next page. Now, the final two matches. The AEW World Tag Team Champions, the triple threat match. Swerve in their glory. Hobbs and Starks. Jurassic Express with Christian. Listen, this matchup was excellent. I love this match. Unfortunately, the wrong team went over. I'm sitting up and saying to myself, Tony Khan, you got an opportunity to do something special right here. you got an opportunity to make Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs that tag team. You got an opportunity to do something special. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Keith Lee, Swerve, Ricky, Hobbs, Christian, everybody did great. Just the wrong team went over. The wrong team went over. Tony Khan, what the clown are you doing, sir? Hobbs and Starks should have went over. I wouldn't even been mad if Keith Lee and Swerve went over because everybody was out here doing work. They was doing work. I got everybody. The triple threat tag team match was great. This is a great tag team match. It's just the wrong team went over. I'm like, Tony, you know the storyline. You know Christian is ready to turn heel. Why are we still pushing Jurassic Express as your tag team champs? You just had them go through the brothers, and now look. Now I gotta ask myself, what the clown did you do with Swerve, Keith, Ricky, and Will? What the clown do you do with them? What the clown do you do with them? I don't know what you do with them. I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know what the heck. I don't know. I'm legit sitting here asking myself, what the clown is up next? Like, legit, I'm serious. What the heck do you do with them? I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I have no idea what you do. I don't know. I was like, when they won, I said, man, the wrong team won. TK on this bull jive as usual. I said, God dang. TK on this bull jive as usual. Like, man, come on, TK. You had a star-making moment right there. I don't care nothing about cats looking good. That's the problem. It's always about, oh, look, they look good. No, I hate that cats look good losing. Now, get out of here with that trash statement. I hate hearing that foolishness from clowns in the IWC. Fools look great losing. No, they don't. Only people that look good losing is people that's well established. Keith, Swerve, Hobbs, and Ricky are just getting started. They ain't really done nothing. Jurassic Express is over like a mug, but the crowd, the way how they was acting, they kind of was starting to get booed. And the stuff when Christian got pulled down, and then when Luchasaurus dang near kicked Jungle Boy's face off, I said, okay, you got something right there. This is the beginning of the heel turn for not only Christian, but for Luchasaurus. This is the breakup of Jurassic Express. You had it right in the middle of the match. They said, nope, we're not going to do that. So now what? We left with now what? You had a storyline potentially ready to go. And then you go and you do this. You go and you pull this foolish stuff right here. I'm like, dog, like really? I'm legit like, man, like come on, man. Come on. I have no idea what's next. I don't know. I guess that's why you need to tune in to Dynamite. So, match is great. I love the match. I just hated the result. I'm being honest, 1,000%. Match is great. I'm not finna sit up and hate on the match. The match is excellent. All six of these teams, all three of these teams did their thing. All six cats, they did their thing. Every one of them. Including Christian. Everybody did good. Storytelling was great in the match. But the wrong team went over. Jurassic Express had no business going over. I don't care what nobody got to say. Had no business going over. So, now we get to the main event. So, no titles have changed. You already know what's going to transpire. This is Cyclops versus Wolverine. This is Team AEW versus WWE / failed in the UFC MMA bozo named CM Punk. Storytelling in this match was all about both of them botching moves. That's what the story was. Hangman knees buckling, getting cocky, CM Punk botching moves and turning it into a storyline. That's basically what this whole matchup was about. And neither one of them could defeat one another. It was back and forth, back and forth. Hangman trying to do CM Punk moves, CM Punk trying to do Hangman moves. Referee get laid out. Hangman about to have the match won. So with all the drama going on with my man's knocked out, sleep, Hangman said he had enough. Now the fans was very mixed. First of all, cats was cheering Hangman and they was booing CM Punk, and then they switched. Everybody started cheering CM Punk, and they was saying F you Hangman. It was like, man, they turned on Hangman so quick. I was like, dog. And Hangman kind of was acting like a heel. He went over there, he grabbed the AEW championship, and he said, look, I got to do what I got to do. So CM Punk is on the floor, looking like he could barely breathe. He has the championship, and he know that if I hit him in the head, I'm going to win this match regardless. He drops it. So he tries to do the buckshot Larry. CM Punk catches him with the go to sleep. The match is over. It's done. We have now a part of the era of CM Punk. He has now become your 5th AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Is this a good move by Tony Khan? We are going to see. I will not judge CM Punk's title run until at least 2 months into this thing. As of right now, this is a great move. I wasn't ready for CM Punk to win the championship. I picked him to win the match. It was a no-brainer. It's going to be about what he does with this championship. Who does he elevate when he gets in the ring with? What kind of stories can he tell as him being the new guy? He's the guy on top right now. CM Punk is the man. CM Punk is the man. Chi-Town just a year ago, debut. I was there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go back and watch the video, I got the live reaction video. Go look into my archives. I was in the building when the man debuted. That was my first wrestling show. I was in the building. The electricity in that building was out of this world crazy. I was there when the man re-debuted, if you want to call it that, but debuted for AEW. I was in the building. The United Center popped so hard. Listen, they was clowning. They was saying CM Punk name from the moment we got to the building. From that very moment on, what was it, August the 20th, 2021, to May 29th, 2022, CM Punk is now the guy. He is now officially the guy. Tony Khan is putting everything behind this man. He is the guy. Speaking of Tony Khan, at the medium scrum, somebody asked the question, hey man, Eric Bischoff been taking a lot of pot shots. They're saying that CM Punk was an absolutely failure in making money. And he said, well, that's just a bowl of BS. That's that guy. Listen, Tony Khan know he be snorting that cocaine. I'm just telling you right now. He's on something. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because he was going off. He went off. Whoever that clown was that asked that question. So you know fools is taking that. You know fools is running away with that. Then there was some question or something, and he said something about we won the Friday Night's War. Now, I'm sitting up here saying to myself, like, ladies and gentlemen, if we want to talk ratings, Rampage ratings are trash. Let's call it for what it is. Outside of the debut from when CM Punk showed up, where they did over 1 million, Rampage ratings have been in the gutter. Ain't nobody watching that show. Only people that watch the show is cats like myself who cover the show. And I watch it if I'm even at home. A lot of times I'm watching it on tape delay, a.k.a. the DVR, because I'm out. So, him talk about Friday Night's War. First of all, there is... Look here. Look here. From somebody who really didn't pay no attention to the Monday Night Wars because I wasn't watching WCW and Raw back then. I came into the picture like 98, and I didn't even know WCW existed. I was just focusing on Raw and SmackDown. I had no idea that WCW existed. I didn't know about WCW until afterwards, until after they was out of business, until they came over and joined WWE. That's when I found out about WCW. I didn't know nothing about them. I knew about ECW, but I didn't know about WCW at the time. You can say it was a war back then. There is no war going on today. The war that's going on is between fans. And see, Tony Khan egging that situation, that clown statement on. Now, what did he do? He triggered WWE fans. He triggered folk. That's all he did. He triggered people who are anti-AEW, if that's what you want to call it. Now, I wouldn't say no foolishness like that, but that's what he decided to do. And, I mean, if you look at the ratings, SmackDown murders AEW every week. I'm just calling for what it is. If you're just looking at the demographics, fine. But most people just look at the ratings. I take the thing at 2.0, 1.9 every Friday versus barely 500K. Just call it for what it is. I don't even watch WWE like that. I don't even watch SmackDown Raw. And I'll take those ratings any day. Just saying. So I wouldn't say no foolishness like that. But he did have the right to check that clown and say, we've made trillions off of the CM Punk's with merch and him just coming back alone. I don't know what the clown Eric Bischoff talk. Listen, Eric Bischoff is just a bitter old man. Let's just call it for what it is. He's bitter. He's old. And he's still trying to live in the past. The fact that his podcast is called 83 Straight Weeks, he's living in the past, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to let that stuff go. Him and Tony Khan need to sit down, whatever their beef is, squash their beef and move on. Just move on. Don't nobody give a care about these two beefing, but we sitting up here talking about it. So obviously we do care about it because we talking about it. The fact that cats is getting triggered every time Eric Bischoff say something, AEW fans get triggered. Every time Tony Khan or CM Punk say something, WWE fans or people who don't like AEW get triggered. It's like everybody can get triggered. It's a triggering effect that takes place no matter what somebody says. No matter what somebody does, it's a triggering effect. And that's what goes on in the IWC. That's why it's so much tribalism that goes on in the IWC. I never tell people to not watch WWE. This is what I say. I prefer AEW over WWE because all it is rematch city, and the fact that WWE don't even know how to do us right. Now, Tony Khan, he still got work to do. Yes, we are on the show. He just got two more of us with Stokely halfway in the thing. But he still got work to do because that was a terrible decision by not having Keith Lee or Swerve or Ricky Starks or Will Hobbs go over. That was a terrible decision if you ask me. But I'm gonna hang in there. Scorpion Sky. This is the third. This is the third chance that you got. You struck out twice with Sky. This is the third chance, Tony Khan. Three, and you out. 3 and you out. We got to get Sky to where he needs to be before he drops that title to whoever he plans on dropping it to. But overall, after all is said and done, and I went back, I know I said I gave the show an 8. I got to give this show a notch down. I'm giving this show a 7 out of 10. Too freaking long. Melissa, I enjoyed majority of this show. I really did. Just too freaking long for me. Almost dang near 6 hours. Cut the weight that you don't need. Cut it. I'm telling you, if you cut the weight, this could have possibly been a 9, 10 out of 10 pay-per-view. If you just cut the freaking weight that does not belong on the freaking show. This, I gotta get everybody and their mama's mama on the freaking show. Is just insanity. That is the cocaine that the fools snort. Be snorting that cocaine like, hey, I gotta get everybody on the show. No, you don't. I don't care nothing what these AEW hardcores got to say. You do not have to get every buffoon on the freaking show. I say this every pay-per-view that he does. Seems like every AEW pay-per-view that he does, I'm always talking about how long it is and who does not deserve to be on the show. We got to cut the weight. We had to. I was at an 8. I legit was at an 8, but I had time to sleep on it. I had time to go back. I had time to revision every match and everything that transpired. And I'm sitting up saying to myself, do you really think that this was an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10? And I'm like, well, let me not be biased, because the biased side of me probably would have said this is an 8 out of 10 show. Nah, I'm going down. This is a 7 out of 10. This is a unbiased take. I'm an AEW hardcore. Don't get it twisted. Because some people going to say, oh, you just say, no, I am an AEW hardcore, but I keeps it unbiased as possible. I do my best to be as real as I can. This is why I'm showing my face so people can see it. Because like I said, as of late, I haven't been showing my face because I haven't had no intro. I just say, you know what, let me just throw it up here because I don't really have no intro. And I'm like, you know what, I really don't feel like showing my face. But I'm like, look, I'm showing my face and I'm giving you my honest take about the show. Was the pay-per-view good? Yes, it was a good pay-per-view. I'm not going to sit up and say it was a bad pay-per-view. It was not a bad pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. Just on AEW standards, it could have been a whole lot better if you cut the dead weight. This is a problem Tony Khan does not want to kill. He wants to keep doing this because he said, oh, well, it's Labor Day weekend, and I got to have everybody on the show, and this is what's going to make the show better. No, it doesn't. It kills the show. Now, the one thing I got to give props to, the Vegas crowd was great. For them being able to just stay there 6 hours plus, who knows how, some of them probably was there even longer because you got to get in line. So they probably was there like 2 hours, 2 plus almost 8 hours. And salute to my girl Monica, because my girl Monica was out there. She actually went to the show. Salute to Monica. I see you, girl. I saw you out there. I didn't see you on TV, but I saw you post on Twitter. I talked to Andy and his wife Amy. They was there. Salute to them being at the show. But like I said, the crowd makes or break a show. If the crowd is in it, more than likely you're gonna have a good pay-per-view. But it's just too long. It's too freaking long. Cut the dead weight. Cut the dead weight. Everybody mama don't need to be on a freaking show. I'm gonna keep saying it. Keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. I don't care what AEW hardcore heads gotta say. They can be mad at me all they want. And I know a whole bunch of them. Trust me, I know a whole bunch of them. A lot of them don't want to interact with me. But it's all good. I'm telling you the truth. A lot of y'all don't want to hear it. I told you, over here at KCville Wrestling the Takes, we keeps it real. I keeps it real all the freaking time. I don't never need to sugarcoat nothing. Never. Unbiased as possible about the company that I feel brought me back into wrestling. Because without AEW, I wouldn't be watching wrestling. I don't care what WWE is doing right now. I would not be watching. I don't care. But the fact that we got a new product that's trying to go head to head with WWE, I'm like, okay, I'm going to tune in. But if they putting on trash, if they putting on stuff, if they making decisions that don't make sense, yeah, I'm going to tell you the bold-faced truth. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, be a shield, as like a lot of people like to say. I'm going to tell you the bold-faced truth. And you can take it or leave it how you like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a full, honest, unbiased pay-per-view review for AEW's Double or Nothing 2022. Third year AEW. This is the third year we're in existence. Kudos to everybody who showed up and did what they had to do. But still, too much on the show. Hit the freaky comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I keeps it real over here on this channel. Unbiased as possible. I gave you my take on MJF situation. Listen, we're going to find out moving forward about him if he wants to go to WWE or not. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Like I said, I knew it was a work. I already knew that. I just knew that with him clowning with all the stuff going on, because a lot of people was tripping about the fact that fans' money was involved. That's why a lot of people was like, okay, something's up. But it is what it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Holla at your boy.